Good evening, everybody. It's Eric Lima here. You're watching yet another episode and video of from my secondary YouTube channel and vlog, in which I present to all of you my sentimental thoughts going from my heart and my soul, and my mental oddball shenanigans come from my mind and brain. This is the EML77 TV, episode 817. Well, a few minutes ago, just got done watching WWE Payback. Guys, I have done well with Payback. I made my picks and predictions, as you know. I did an early prediction before the show started with the kickoff, and I made my predictions for that kickoff match between the Iconics and the Riot Squad. Here we go. Got my sheet here. We'll talk about what happened tonight on Payback. They kicked it off with the Riot Squad versus the Iconics, and the Iconics tried to put a little psychological mind games on the Riot Squad. And for a minute there, Liv Morgan was really conflicted during the matchup. And then finally, Liv Morgan got herself together, tags in Ruby Riott, and went back and forth. The Iconics had the advantage. Then they put it all together, and the Riot Squad won. That's right, the Riot Squad defeated the Iconics. I'm so happy. They stopped by with the kickoff panel. They started Charlie Caruso, JBL, Peter Rosenberg, Booker T, and Jerry the King Lawler, Hall of Famers, all around except for Peter Rosenberg and Charlie Caruso. And R-Truth stopped on by. He said Bobby Lashley beat Nelson from The Simpsons. I love R-Truth, and I tweeted about R-Truth being a national treasure, and R-Truth wanted my tweet. So R-Truth, thank you so much for liking my tweet, and I'm honored. And you are, and I'm serious, but R-Truth is the funniest man in the WWE. I said Dan Houser was the funniest man in independent wrestling scene, but in the WWE, I have to take it. I have to give it up to R-Truth. R-Truth was hilarious. I'm like, he thinks he's going to be on Raw talking with the kickoff show. I'm like, this is too funny. It was he called the Phil Nelson the Nelson from The Simpsons. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I have to admit, that was the funniest thing ever, and I could not stop laughing. I love R-Truth's hilarious. R-Truth, love you, man. You are awesome. That's why I bought that shirt, man. Because R-Truth is hilarious. Hope y'all marriage ain't constipated no more. I still think that's hilarious. That's the funniest. R-Truth is hilarious. He said his marriage was constipated. Oh my God! Oh, that Renee Michelle's reaction. What? What? Oh my God! Oh, R-Truth. I can't get enough of R-Truth. The guy's hilarious, man. My bad. There's a spider. I will make spiders stew. R-Truth since he came back, R-Truth provided us with a lot of funny moments, and I say induct the guy in the Hall of Fame just because the guy is hilarious. Oh my gosh! All right, let me keep it together here because that was funny. R-Truth kickoff. I should wrote R-Truth appearance. Truth kickoff appearance. Yeah, I gotta write things on the fly here. Could you believe that? It's not even 10 o'clock, and I figured, why not? So that was my kickoff prediction pick from the previous episode. If you haven't watched it yet, so I picked Riot Squad over the Iconics. Riot Squad did win that matchup. United States title. I picked Apollo Crews to retain. It was a back and forth matchup. I think Apollo Crews made a mistake. Lashley capitalized on it, and boom, Lashley picks up the win. He's the new United States Heavyweight Champion. So, tell you what, that's going to be huge for the Hurt business. A little bit more. Kayla Braxton was trying to find Roman Reigns or Paul Heyman. She interviewed Paul Heyman asking if Roman Reigns will sign the contract. Paul Heyman says he'll be there, guaranteed, and all that good stuff. And then Keith Lee was getting ready for his matchup against Randy Orton. And JBL stopped on by and talked to him, and JBL gave him a lot of props and wished him the best of luck against Randy Orton. And he said, if you lose, don't feel bad. But more on that matchup. It was a heck of a matchup. Then, speaking of heck of a matchup, Big E versus Sheamus came up there, and, oh, man, it went back and forth. There was a couple of times Sheamus got Big E in the knees and start working that knee. I mean, trying to take out the power. All of a sudden, Big E did end up winning the match. That was my other prediction pick, that Big E would win. And so I was 2-1 in that situation. Then the newest broadcast colleague, as you know, Renee Young has left the WWE after SummerSlam, and she said she was still watching. She was tweeting about SummerSlam tonight, not SummerSlam, Payback tonight. My brain's all over the place today. I gotta get it together. I got to get it together. Too much crap going on the internet. It's not even funny. Elise Ashton, it was the newest broadcast colleague. I think she's going to be part of the Smackdown team now. Very gorgeous young lady. Interviewed Matt Riddle and talked about how King Corbin tweeted that he'll be a failure in the WWE as he was a failure at home. After Matt Riddle was said he's very confident, and then she repeated the tweet that King Corbin said, and Matt Riddle was mad. Then the match happened. King Corbin blindsided Matt Riddle after he kicked out the flip-flops. The two went at it. I mean, they went at it. And then after, Matt Riddle fought for this victory. It was a big, huge upset. After Matt Riddle hit the floating Broton, I think, to pick up the victory over King Corbin. So I picked Matt Riddle over King Corbin. I was 3-1 in that situation. Man, I'll tell you what, I was on a roll that day. So, so I picked that match, and then after Matt Riddle did a post-match interview with Elise Ashton, all of a sudden Corbin attacks him from behind. What's up with that? What a sore sport. Sore loser. Hey, Corbin, you got beat. Corbin, King Corbin. You got crowned more ways than one, you little yucker punk. Little hockey puck. That's what you are, a hockey puck. And then the women's tag team titles were on the line. Sasha Banks and Bayley. Bayley, those straps. And one belt Banks. That would be against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. The two went at it. Bayley and Banks did everything they could to isolate Nia Jax, and that's what they had to do. They knew Nia Jax had knee problems, so they were working on her knee and all that. Tags in Shayna Baszler a couple of times, and then all of a sudden, Shayna Baszler, say what you want about the girl, about the woman. She's only 40. She's 40 years old. Shayna Baszler. She don't even look 40, for God's sakes. She looked like she's like 25 or something like that. Amazing, It just amazes me. Shayna Baszler, okay? She used Sasha Banks. She tried to get Sasha Banks in the Muda lock, and then when Bayley tried to get involved, she goes over and gives her the Kira Fuda clutch, but then she used one of Sasha Banks' arms to wrap around Bayley. And then all of a sudden Bayley taps out, new tag team champions. I picked Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I said they're going to end up winning the titles, and they did by submission. And the way Shayna Baszler won the match for the team, I mean, it was impressive. Shayna Baszler is very innovative and impressive. Watch her, that's why she was one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions before Rhea Ripley beat her. Because Shayna Baszler is very smart in that ring. A lot of brains and brawn, and I'll tell you one thing, the Queen of Spades, watch out. Shayna Baszler can take a knee joint out anytime. I wouldn't want to step in the ring with her. She'd probably take my legs and make me eat them, rip off a leg of mine or an arm of mine. You know, she be she be entering and she be the owner of the most expensive club. Yeah, Shayna Baszler. Yeah, she be the owner of the most expensive club that will have to cost you an arm and a leg to get in. Ah, get it? Is you? Okay. Bad joke. Bad dad joke that I pulled out today. I'll be the only one from that episode. So congratulations to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax becoming the women's tag team champions. Now all Shayna Baszler's got to do is capture the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. She'll be a Grand Slam champion. Bayley's the first one to pull it off. Asuka's the second one to pull it off. Maybe. Oh, Nia Jax is a former Raw Women's champ too, so she needs the NXT Women's champ and the SmackDown Women's champ to get the job done. Then, so I picked them to win. So that means I picked Riot Squad to win. That's one. I picked Cruz to win in the United States title match, but Lashley won. That's one. I'm 1-1. I picked Big E over Sheamus. That's 2-1. I picked Riddle over Corbin, 3-1, and Baszler and Jax over Bayley and Banks, 4-1. Sasha Banks has no more belts. I'm sure Ryan Popola is probably crying right now, and Bayley's only got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Be very interested to see what happens on this coming Friday night on SmackDown. Keith Lee, Randy Orton. I picked Keith Lee over Orton to win the match. These two went at it. Randy Orton even chopped him and then started to say, "You better treat some respect." He's chopping Keith Lee, but Keith Lee's not even affecting him. I'm like, he's making him angry. And he does the Grizzly Magnum chop. Boom! I'm like, ow! You know? And then all of a sudden, I think Randy Orton almost hit the RKO. I think he tried to do like a leg lariat type move. Keith Lee grabbed him. Wham! Bam! Spirit bomb out of nowhere. Uno, dos, tres. Keith Lee picks up the victory. That's the 5th win that I predicted. That was, out of the 6 matches that happened, I got 5 right, 1 wrong. Got 2 more matches to go. Kayla Braxton, once again, went back and interviewed Paul Heyman. Heyman says, again, he has to say that he's guaranteeing that Roman Reigns will be there in the match. So I was like, something's going on. So they had the Mysterio family, Ray and Dominic, to take on Rollins and Murphy. That matchup was just... In that matchup, back and forth, Dominic showed a lot. And then, there was a moment in the matchup where Seth Rollins, I think, went to go double team. And him and Murphy going to double team. Seth Rollins about to throw Rey Mysterio into the waiting feet of Murphy. Instead, Rey Mysterio turned it around, and Murphy hit Rollins instead. But that gave Dominic the open door. He gets tagged in, finishes off Murphy. 1, 2, 3, and the Mysterios. I picked the Mysterio team over Rollins and Murphy, and the Mysterios picked the win. That's 6-1. So that was a heck of a matchup. The Hurt Business decided to celebrate and decided to leave the arena. And throughout the entire pay-per-view, no retribution. They heightened up security, they said. Somehow, I've got a hunch. Retribution. I don't know what's up with retribution, but I'll tell you one thing right now. Security. I think everybody's starting to wise up with security. Then the Universal Championship was on the line. Bray Wyatt came out and as the Fiend. And then Braun Strowman blindsides him. Bell rings. No Roman Reigns. So it was just Strowman and Bray Wyatt beating the you-know-what out of each other. And they were beating up each other with chairs, weapons, mallets. And Alexa Bliss is walking and twirling her hair. I'm like, oh boy, she's turned to a space shot. So, and I don't know if Alexa Bliss has got a thing for the Fiend or what, or she's under the Fiend's spell. We don't know. Hopefully Nikki Cross can pound some sense into her. We'll find out this Friday night on SmackDown. But these two went at it until the Fiend grabbed Braun Strowman. And all of a sudden, superplex onto the ring. The ring collapsed. The announce table was collapsed. Everything was ruined. The ring was ruined. Referee fell out of the ring. And here comes Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns signs the contract. it's official. He's in. Roman Reigns goes down, looks around, tries to pin The Fiend. The Fiend kicks out. Tries to pin Strowman. Strowman kicks out. He's looking around saying, what do I got to do? Grabs a chair, starts smashing Strowman about 5 times or more. Pins Strowman again. Strowman kicks out. And tries to and then The Fiend tried to hit him with the mandible claw, but Roman Reigns did the low blow. It's legal in the matchup. So Roman Reigns decided, he's going to pick up the pieces. Smart move on Roman's part. And then all of a sudden, he's looking around, and he figured, well, I'm going to spear him, spear somebody regardless of what the ring looks like. Braun Strowman was trying to get up. Roman Reigns was in position. Spear tackle. Referee makes the 3 count. 2, 3. We got a new Universal Champion. So they had a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches, and I'm 7-1 in my picks. 7-1. The only one match I got wrong was the United States title match when I picked Apollo Crews, but Lashley did defeat Apollo Crews for the United States title, so I'm 7-1 in my picks. And yeah, no Retribution. Retribution was not there at all. They heightened up security according to what Michael Cole's been saying. So will we see Retribution tomorrow night on Raw? Will they? Something's got to be done still. Retribution's going to have to make an appearance somehow. So a lot of mind games going on by Retribution. Maybe Retribution probably knows. Who knows for sure? Is the Smackdown hacker involved? I don't know. They probably scrapped that storyline, but you never know. You never know what's going on. Retribution is still a mystery. We still don't know anything about them. We don't know who they are, who their leader is. We don't know nothing. We're going to have to be patient and wait to see how they're going to deal with that. We'll run rumor has it Raw Underground storyline will probably be kaput. If that happens, we'll see what happens because Arturo Ruas and Dabba-Kato, 2 prominent superstars from NXT, it'll be something to see. So now you notice that on Twitter, Toni Storm's Twitter account is gone. So, but with the pandemic going around and all that, and she decided to get off social media for a bit, and I don't blame her. Get off Twitter because Twitter has been really toxic as of late. I should know I've been trolled on Twitter. Anyways, the fact of the matter is this. Check this out. I was asking, does anybody have a clue what's going on their status? Because NXT UK is coming back in September. I think September 17th is the date it's coming back. It's coming back, so I figured Toni Storm was still there. But the last time I saw Toni Storm was on NXT television when Shayna Baszler was the target for the NXT Women's Championship. Well, Rhea Ripley wants a piece. Io Shirai wanted a piece, and Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm and Io Shirai fought for a number 1 contender spot. I think. I mean that's what, and that caused Io to get hurt for a while and was sitting out too. So I think Toni Storm would be able to step up to the plate. So, but she went back to the UK. I think she was still part of the UK, and she was dating Juice Robinson, the former CJ Parker formerly of NXT. So we don't know if she. So I'm assuming that she is still part of the NXT UK roster. So, and she can't fight for the NXT UK Women's Championships unless they decide to scrap that storyline and say, okay, or reinstate Toni Storm's title contention. We'll find out when NXT UK returns. There's a lot of other women that are deserving of the title. Kaylee Ray's the champion. Gallus is the tag team champions. I know a travel ban prevented Toni Storm from doing anything. So, but I don't know if, I know Donald Trump and Vince McMahon are friends, so I don't know if he'll give Vince a little leeway, but they don't want to take any chances and all that good stuff. So, I don't know for sure what's going on with Toni Storm. I miss her in the ring, and I like her. Hope she comes. Hope she comes back to NXT UK. I know she can't fight for the title, but who knows? I think as long as Kaylee Ray's champion, so I think, have someone else fight for the title, win the title, and then Toni Storm comes back and challenges. That's what I think that should happen too. I think as long as Kaylee Ray's the champion, I think that's possibly another thing too. So I thought Toni Storm would be part of Retribution, but with the travel, like I said, travel bans, she can't come to the U.S. So a lot of things, everyone's wondering how did the Imperium make it there? So I don't know if Imperium was there when the whole pandemic happened. So I don't know. And Imperium became the NXT Tag Team Champions. They lost the titles to Breezango. Breezango has the titles now. So this will be a very interesting situation coming up on NXT. So we haven't seen much of Indu's share. I don't know if both gentlemen went back to their respective country of India during the pandemic. I don't know if that's going to happen. And where Malcolm Bivens. If I were Robert Stone, I would form a new team together. We haven't seen the AOP since this whole pandemic happened, and I don't know what the story is. And a lot of the pandemic has really taken out a lot of folks per se. A lot of folks via TV time because I think that's the only downside having a lot of foreign stars in the WWE when they go back to their respective countries and then something like this, the pandemic like this happened. So, and that basically ruins a lot of storylines and everything else in between. So, I'm kind of hoping that things will get settled there. So it is something there. Well, I got to end it here tonight. Like I said, going back to the daily grind tomorrow. Work at the mall. I'm going to end it right here. Like I said, I think my brain's starting to wind down too. So I am going to end it right here. Thank you guys for tuning in. What happened on Payback tonight. So don't watch this video if you don't want any spoilers or you haven't watched Payback yet, please. If you don't want spoilers, don't watch this. But to those who have watched it and want to see my thoughts and opinions on it, you can watch it here, okay? I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. God bless, and hope you have a better tomorrow, and God willing, and hope you guys sleep well, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, okay? I'll see you guys later. Peace.